Arsenal do the unthinkable. I don't know how many times over the past couple of weeks I've had to sit and listen to people telling me, oh my God, you bottled it against Sunderland. This is the start of the Arsenal downfall. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Look, I've not been able to speak to you guys for a couple of days because I've been so ill, but not even COVID 2025 could stop me from getting on here and expressing my appreciation to these players. This manager, I can't remember a North London derby like this. This will go down as the Eze derby, but it's the conversations around Arsenal. Oh, look, Arsenal bottled it against Sunderland. How do you think they're going to be able to cope in the North London derby against Tottenham? I'll tell you how. Port Vale had more expected goals than Tottenham in this game against Arsenal. So why was we panicked? Why were people pointing fingers at Arsenal and saying, you're not good enough, you're going to bottle it this season, you just wait for Man City and Liverpool to kick into gear? Didn't they just drop points in the weekend? And this isn't me coming on here and saying, give me the league because we've already won it, but I'm trying to say this Arsenal team will only from this point onward continue to get stronger because we're seeing Arsenal's players start to return from injury. Noni Madueke was on the pitch yesterday. Gabriel Martinelli was on the bench. This is the start of where we continue to get stronger. It's only upward from here. The fact that Thomas Frank come out before the game and was saying, Eze, who's Eze? What a foolish thing to do. Why would you do that? Because there's only one possible scenario after that. That can only come back to bite you. There's no way in which you say that can come back as a positive. You're saying, who is Eze? The guy just dunked on you, scored a hat-trick. I'm loving the reaction from Tottenham fans. I'm loving the reaction from rival fans because people are starting to realise something that us Arsenal fans have known for a long time. We are for real. We're not playing this season. So much credit has to go to Arsenal, Arteta, Berta, the signings, because there was a lot of panic. There's an alarm, look, and I'm not even going to stop. There was panic around this game. I understand there was jeopardy. Look, we had no Gabriel. We didn't know how that defensive structure would be without the mainstay, the vocal point of that Arsenal defence. Gabriel, the leader, the guy who is so good defensively, offers so much in those attacking areas as well. Nkapie slotted straight in, and you wouldn't have known Gabriel was missing. Nkapie, we have to give credit to Berta, because there's been a few instances this season where we've lost key players and someone else has slotted in and we didn't even notice it. We saw it with Bukayo Saka. He gets injured. Most people are panicking, thinking, where do we go from here? We've just lost our best player. Noni Madueke comes in, a player we've just signed, and that guy tears it up. Saliba gets injured against Liverpool. Mascara comes in. Gabriel gets injured. You got Nkapie coming. Odegaard gets injured. You got Eze coming in and scoring hat-tricks against Tottenham. I want to give a shout out to Mikel Merino as well, because he's a guy that's come under debate within the Arsenal fan base over the past couple of months when we've had to play him as striker. Oh, he's good, but he doesn't offer us certain things. We've had those conversations. I'm not hiding away from anything. But in some games, he's unplayable. Because how do the defenders mark a guy that drops so deep and then allows the central midfield players to run beyond him? Like the way that he dropped deep for that Trossard goal was so clever, because the Tottenham players, the defenders, they can't mark him because he's not playing that traditional centre-forward role. He drops so deep, collects the ball, and all of a sudden, there's no one on him because he's dropping into an area that you wouldn't usually associate with being a striker. Like, why are you coming that deep and receiving the ball? So good from Mikel Merino. And look, he didn't get his goal, but he contributed massively in that game. Trossard, brilliant. Eze is exceptional. Arsenal fans, I think it's fair to say that most of us have appreciated the work that Eze so far has done for Arsenal, but that was his crowning moment. Like, this will live long in the memory as the Eze North London derby. I've got a crazy fact for you guys, right? Eze, in one North London derby, is 2 goals away from Thierry Henry's total goal tally against Tottenham in North London derbies. That sounds crazy, right? In one game, he's 2 goals away from matching Titi. And I just saw that pop up, so I thought I had to bring that in because I was like, no way, that's true. Googled it and it was true. So Eze is now in a position where, look, most of us were probably missing Odegaard. I think that's fair to say. We've been missing that creativity. But Eze's done well in that position, by the way. But a lot of people hold the opinion that Eze's best position is out on the left. And now Mikel Arteta will have a headache when players like Madueke come back, which we saw yesterday, Martinelli come back, Odegaard comes back. That's the one, and I'm thinking, who do you play in that central position? Because to me, our best attacking midfielder is Odegaard. Some people will have Eze. That's absolutely fine. Different strokes for different folks. But for me, Odegaard is the best attacking central option, but you can't deny a player who's just scored a hat-trick from that position. So there are some, I don't know, uncomfortable conversations that Mikel Arteta's going to have with these guys. Look, my opinion is just let them all come in, let them battle it out for those positions. It will only help Arsenal, and we know there are more than enough fixtures for all of these guys to continue to get played without there being some frustrations within the Arsenal player base, right? But it is just like the fact we've still got these players to come back, because this was, and still is, look, we're not over it yet, a difficult period of the season. I think when we drew to Sunderland, my receipts are on there. I said, that's a good point. I'll take it. We've gone to Sunderland. We went behind. This team were unbeaten at home. They're a top 4 team. It was a good draw. But the picture was being painted that this is the start of the Arsenal downfall. This is the moment where Arsenal start to bottle it again, because people, untrue, right? They look at Arsenal and say, well, they've bottled it for the past 3 seasons. And that's not what happened. Last season, we wasn't great. 2 seasons ago, that was the only one you can look at Arsenal and say, right, they bottled it. And I don't like that phrasing, of course, because it's pointed toward my team. But if you lead for whatever the stats were, 93% of the season, you can say that, right? And it's kind of hard to argue against that. The season before, Arsenal were pushing against Man City when we really shouldn't have been there, because before that we was 5th, and then we was 8th, and then we 8th, and then we jumped straight into 2nd. So we've been there for the past few seasons. Arsenal are on track to do something special this season. Everyone is now looking at Arsenal and saying this is the team to beat. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Who is Arsenal's main rival? Because we've had conversations. Look, at the start of the season, I said Man City are Arsenal's main rivals. Other people had Liverpool. We've always spoken about Chelsea being there or thereabouts, but maybe they're not quite at the level. But they are currently the closest team to Arsenal. So when we're having conversations about Man City, about Liverpool, I think it's about time that we start to add Chelsea into those type of conversations, because we have a perfect way in which we can quiet the Chelsea noise, because we play them next weekend. So if you go to Chelsea and beat them, that is the statement win I'm after. Look, this game against Bayern Munich is kind of a game that I approach with a strong team, but I don't prioritise this over the Premier League game. And now I don't know if people would agree with that. Let me know if you do. But I still play a strong team. I'm not throwing the Bayern game, because I think our team is still strong enough to rotate 3 or 4 players, right? And still beat Bayern Munich. It's going to be a great game. No, most people would admit these are the 2 best teams in the world right now. Bayern Munich are on fire. Arsenal are on fire. Let them clash it out. The only thing is, like, I don't think Bayern Munich even have some of their best players available. Arsenal certainly don't have. So this isn't the same level of, oh, if this was the quarterfinal, then there's no way you can rest any players. I'm looking at that Bayern Munich game and I'm saying, I'm resting some players, because we have to beat Chelsea on the weekend and we are going to progress in the Champions League group. I know we need to try and get as much points as possible, so I bear that in mind when I'm choosing my team. I'm, of course, going to have a full match breakdown coming up, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But yeah, that Chelsea game now goes on to another level. Like, I'm looking at that Chelsea game and I'm saying these could be the 2 contenders at the end of the season, because right now we don't have a definitive 2 that's going to challenge for the whole season. Most of us thought it's going to be Man City this season, and although they look so dangerous in those attacking areas, and when you've got players like Haaland, you can never discount them completely, right? But you look at them defensively and you think you are so fragile. They're the opposite to Arsenal in those moments. Liverpool are much the same. You look at them and they're going forward at times and they are electric. The transitions from front to back, they can move the ball forward. They've got Mo Salah missing chances. They've got Isak missing chances. Wirtz, I don't even know if he's played a game yet, and they bought him for 150 million. But defensively, you look at Liverpool and you think you can be got at. The same as Man City, you can be got at. You are so fragile in defence. Set pieces, your routines aren't really nailed down like Arsenal's are. You don't have that strength in defence. And these are reasons why you're seeing teams turn them over, why they're going to Newcastle and getting beat, why they're losing at home to Nottingham Forest 3-0. Liverpool fans are now starting to realise. I think that defeat was the one needed for Liverpool fans to start to think, do you know what? This is going to be difficult for Liverpool this season. Look, I predict that Liverpool are going to struggle to get in Europe. I mean, that might not happen. They can very easily go on a run. And again, I'm not going to discount Liverpool completely, but they're struggling right now. So are Man City. The only other team right now that I'm looking at and thinking, right, you're playing well, is Chelsea. They've got that. They've got quite a strong team throughout. The goalkeeper's quite weak, but I look at the defence. I think it's not Arsenal level, but you're strong. Midfield, they've got some great midfield players, and they have some attacking flair up front. Now, I don't think they're as well equipped as Arsenal to go on and actually win the league. This will be Arsenal's league now. I've held that opinion for a long time. And is this going to be a league where Arsenal run away with it? I don't know. Look, there's still so much of the season left that I'm not going to sit here on the 24th of November and say, right, Arsenal have won this league easy, because I'm not that foolish, because I know how quickly things can change, and I'm not going to sit here and be that guy to say, right, give me the title, we've already run it. It will be difficult. There's still a lot of football to be played, but Arsenal are now in a position that people are starting to realise, do you know what, I think they're actually going to do it. But let me know on everything you've heard in this video. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could do me a quick favour, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.